It's a very tricky type of build that we're doing for a tower that is 80 feet wide. We're at a location in a peninsula where we have to carry everything across a pedestrian bridge. My name is Bahman Azarm, and I'm the CEO of Outdoor Venture Group. We build outdoor recreational facilities, adventure parks, canopy walkways, and now an amazing tower called the Nautilus Tower. It's an environmentally sensitive area, so we wanted to make sure that we did very little soil disturbance. When we did our research, there was really one solution, and that is the use of this foundation system called Spinnanker. They're an Austrian company, and what's amazing about the way this foundation system works is that there are very low impacts, so there's very little soil disturbance, and they can hold a tower of that size. Of course, the engineering part of it was quite challenging because we can't carry too much weight across the pedestrian bridge. In order to make sure that we have a sustainable and environmentally friendly way of building, we had some very unique challenges. And one of the challenges was it is a peninsula we're building on, and there's very little access to this peninsula. There is a pedestrian bridge that was built by the city a number of years ago, and we decided that we're going to use that bridge in order to build the tower that we're going to be building. Therefore, everything has to be designed so that it can be carried over the bridge that has a limited capacity. So the challenges of designing a 80-foot wide tower that can be carried across a small bridge, one piece at a time, was both interesting and frustrating. It was interesting in that it allowed us to think creatively about how we can actually bring things over and then assemble it on the peninsula side. Frustrating because everything has to be in little pieces, where normally building a tower like this, you would put the pieces together, you would use a very large crane or even a helicopter and put up the pieces that way. For us to be able to put a foundation in that doesn't require a concrete truck digging holes, putting rebar in, and having all sorts of damage to the environmentally sensitive area, the Spinnanker is a tremendous choice for us.
We're having a huge tower here. It is 80 tons of steel, which have to be carried by the soil here. So if we would have used concrete, we would have needed tons and tons of concrete with housings, with transport to the island. So we found out very quick we don't like it. We don't like it by means of efforts, we don't like it by means of impact into the environment. We wanted to be very, very natural with the material we use here on this island, and we didn't want to use much concrete. We were happy to have a good partner which we have been knowing for a long time, and invited him and asked him if they could mount foundations here. It's a very specific mounting method where steel rods are being drilled some 25 feet into the ground.
When he came up with the tower, I was immediately enthusiastic about that. When he told me about his problems going on a small island over a small bridge in a nature-sensitive zone, I said, that's our thing.
This will give it a really, really good stability, also by means of being ready for hurricanes and strong winds.
The Spinnanker system is really unique in that it really mimics a tree. The Spinnanker utilizes these metal pieces that sit on the actual soil, and there are metal rods that go in at different angles through this metal piece that allows the metal piece to be extremely secure within the soil system.
Why we tried to copy a root system is, as you can see on the trees, even they are very high and they have to fight against strong winds, etc. they need a good foundation. And the good foundation is the root system. And there we have different root systems. You have root systems which are quite flat, and you have root systems which are quite deep. The trees are adapted to their needs, which means flat or deep roots. And the same is on the Spinnanker. So we have different kinds of angles, we have different depths, we have different plates for flat rods and for deep rods, and so that's how we copy the nature.
We're actually using a combination of things. It's one of the systems that they have developed for us. It's called a hybrid system, where there's a precast concrete where this metal piece is located on. There are actually 4 of these metal pieces on one precast concrete section. And we're going to be putting these sections together to make the kind of structure that we need to hold this tremendous tower in place and have it withstand 170-mile-hour hurricane winds.
It's not rocket science, but still it's a little bit tricky. We take the rod and we drill it. Through this drilling, through the anchor plate, we screw it to the soil, compared to a concrete foundation where you need some time to harden. With our system, you drill it in, and 1 hour later the plate is done and you can use it immediately.
We're so excited that we can bring the Spinnanker system here to the US and actually use it for the first time as our main foundation for the tower. It has been used in Europe in many different applications, for guy wires, for foundations of all different kinds. For us, it's really exciting that we are going to be the first to use this type of foundation system and really take advantage of all of its simplicity for building our observation tower.